Thank you for coming. My name is Tanya G Johnson, and I'm from Santa Cruz, California. I've stayed in Barcelona for the half of my life, so it's now at both and trainer. I worked in different companies and at my job. I speak to it. I help Bartha every year like a rep, so I'm very happy to be here. Can I name what you mentioned? Alexandra? Alexandra. Okay. For Elisa. Okay, good. And you are? Jack. Where you from? Jaba. Barcelona. Wow. So sorry, where did you say? Oh wow. Hey, you've been here. You've been here half your leg as well. Or a little less. Okay, wonderful. So today we're gonna talk about that Reddit question. Tell me about it. So I'll have today or me. Here. I'm on the stand out. Okay. What do they say? Okay. It's one of the most difficult ones. I bet. Yeah. It can put you down. So, but the feeling para la puerta está el lady en que va. Que entre quien quiera cuando siguen a alguien. Okay. All right. 45 minutes goes by really fast. Look at that. Okay. So let's do stuff. What comes to mind when you see the number 7? What? Blood. Take up my body number, so that I can't make it else. Okay. The days of the week, yeah? 7 minutes. Okay, and this is actually 7 seconds. 7 seconds, how long it takes. Hi, on it. Okay. Let's stand up the rest of that. Fine and welcome. We're just getting started. So 7 seconds is how long it takes. So we scan us, right? For left, third, fourth. And this can even happen before you start pop. So we need to be aware, because how many times can we make first aggression? Only one. And can he fix a bad first aggression? Yeah, can, but you have to work at it. It takes time and maybe some more effort. Come on in. So we're going to keep this in mind today as we're talking about our elevated business. When there's just question battle. You was talking a moment ago, how many of you think hockey is a today with a company? So when you're at interview a day thoroughly is your make having video interviews and never goes take it home. You can always be ready with an answer. I'll get that. Barn level, like if you want follow, you need to have the basics down. And if I say this, that. Okay. So today we're going to go from the visible to reality. It's just like what she said, bro. Stand out. Right. Yeah. So you have three different powers. Okay, so big steps. So power one, power zone one, be prepared. How many of you have an elevating day? So you can use that today, and you can adapt it if you want, depending on XIII where. Good. These adapt those decent when you interview different than the network, right? Have the impact. Okay, student abuse, right? Very good practice. Ten seconds. Okay, good. And you have lots of customer to prepare about moment for our audience. So be prepared and know yourself. Kind of what I Power zone two, know your audience. So who's maybe you don't know your audience. Why you're asking each other something about yourself. But if you're in an interview, you know your audience, the company, about. And be congruent and be fun. You know what congruent is? It is fine. I'm gonna give you an example. But okay, great. About not contradicting yourself. Exactly. You mean communicating and the say something, but our body or our voice, which is saying nothing else, is can't think. Maybe take care of that. And the third power zone is own your feeling. What does that do? We're gonna talk about verbal and non-verbal. How that affects how transmitted to the and finally, so that we can how many see everybody's talking about that today. Every little thing I've heard so far, and I haven't been here all day. Oh, it's stand now. What is that thing about Steph? Identify with her. But that is okay. So be prepared and do yourself. You have to break this and have to have that. Know your story. What makes you speak? What special turning point in life has better secular here or look really specific that finally your friend it's also what or about it's not on your okay, didn't think that you have color art and what really defines what do you pass was inspired. Okay, now we're gonna think about ourselves in terms of how we would like others to see us. So know yourself by self-analyze. And I'm hoping by the end of the session today, you will take some tips from me about reporting yourself and really taking a hard look at yourself. What are you casting? So for now, let's think about who am I? How do others see me? You ever ask for feedback? How many people ask for feedback and they're hearing a presentation or you put the elevator? Yeah? They're good. If you take notes when people give you feedback, okay, this is support. We can give ourselves feedback as well. And that's where the videos come. Yeah. What are my main adjectives? So, what are my main qualities? What do I do well? What in terms of communication, in terms of the job that I put. Think of those qualities that you have and make a list. Right now, we're going to make a little list of our. So, what are my objectives? You need to have a square when you're introduced. Not necessarily the networking event, but still. What are you looking at? Practice saying that. Prepare your script and buff-ups. Okay, now let's take a look at how we want others to see us. So, how do you want to be seen by others? Have you ever thought about that? What you want others to take away after you or after a presentation? What would you like them to say after you leave the room about? Have you ever thought about that? So let's take a moment and I would like you to write this down. Actually, I can go ahead. I don't want you to take a look at the whole photocopy. I'm going to give you yes, that you can write down on the photocopy. There's a little space where you can write your attributes. Okay? So this is the elevator pitch outline I'm going to propose to you. You don't have time to do it all out today, but in a moment, I'm going to give you step 5. Exit. And at the top, you have the attributes. There she is. Oh. Okay, so at the very top, you can see another. So, all right, so let's think about how would you like that it's just. For example, I would like others to see me as confident, organized, and proactive. Bossy. Here today, doing this workshop, I would like you to be inspired and walk away thinking, wow, that was motivating. And she's dynamic. For example. So let's think now, all of us, 3 things, 3 attributes or qualities that we would like others to see in us when we are answering this question. All right? You have hand, everybody? Now you can make notes in your phone. Ito. Yeah. Tama ni Alex ahí. In commento, in a minute, I'm going to ask you for an example. Okay. What does that mean? So how do we do that? This is the $1,000,000 question, and we don't have a ton of time, but I want you to think about how you make this happen. What is confident you would play? There's no right or wrong answer. She's question. Just let's focus my ears out, because this isn't for part of the work that I do with all of my clients. Start with the ethics, how you want others to do, and then there you decide how do you make that happen. What do you need? Where's confidence? Where's confidence? Non-verbal, verbal, okay. How they say, okay. Okay. On the tray. Okay, so message for you to say it topics. Okay. What else? Right. It's a calm and with all your ideas in your mind, you just brain stuff. Right? Posture. Okay. Also, eye contact. This. Okay, so those are other things. What else? What else could help with it? Self. So I mean, and is he could everybody answer the question, or would be more things? So it's really about how you think you what you think you can make that up. And the same goes for what did you say? Give us one of your attributes. How would you like to be seen? Yeah, there's nobody behind you. Optimistic. Okay, good. All right, so an optimistic person, and you have to think about whatever optimistic person. Yeah, be sure to transmit that. Oh, smile, a positive thing. Just what about you? What's gonna be after you say you go down? It's okay, just one attribute. You just say the sadness. You don't see sadness. One attribute. Anybody said you count? You did, no? Me helper? Okay, but just give me one attribute, one word. Your heart. A hard and soft skills. Okay, so, hard and soft skills. Okay, we're here to talk about the soft skills. All right, good. Wonderful. So, we're going to base our knowing ourselves on this, and I recommend that you need to answer you about the situation you're presenting, and also about your audience, how you like you want that see. You're going to see this in your videos. Okay? So, color zone 2, know your audience. We need to know who we're talking to in order to adapt what we're saying and for answering questions. Who are they? What are they expecting? If you've done your homework with the companies, you'll know what they're looking for and even adapt your best what they're after. Be positive. So that goes along with the optimism. Detective your positive feeling about yourself, about the job, about the company, about the sector, about the world right now. Try to be positive. And in order to do that, you need in that. Deeply feel positive about access. And if you do, you can then see. So going back to the content that we're going to be comparing, think about what you're passionate about, right? don't have to be very tough, but think about what you're passionate about. Because we're passionate about something. That's when we come alive. Our eyes start to sparkle, and the smile comes naturally. So this is the kind of king talk about in your book. You're asking answer questions like what do you want to do with my life? Okay? And how can you do that? How can you become more engaged, more inspiring? You are talking about what are your current goals? You know all of them. Mind you, it's an important moment in the interview. It's the first moment. Okay, Moravian study. So this is my favorite study related to communication. This was a study done back in the 1960s. It was a 10-year study, studied over 10 years, where Dr. Moravian, who worked at UCLA, studied how we are impacted by someone speaking to us. It was not a public speaking study, it was just about communication. So he studied the visual, the verbal, and the mental. Okay, the visual being the person, no PowerPoints, just communication. So the visual, which is what? That we need to see. Hands, clothes, face, hair, makeup, visual. Visual. Gestures and all of those things. The verbal is the message, the words you say, and the vocal is how you say it. So what do you think in this study was the most impactful on the listeners? The visual, the verbal, or the mental? What do you think had more impact overall? Vocal? Okay, any other ideas? Okay, sure. And that's and also he did a 10-year study, so right? Okay, the results were 55% visual, 38% vocal. So between visual and vocal, 93%, only 3% was the verbal, the words. Is there something wrong with this picture? So you can look this study up. It's very interesting. But the results of this study are often misunderstood. The results of this study proved that this is true when communication is incongruent. So meaning, for example, if I come in and say, I'll put it back in a minute. If I come in and say, hi everyone, so thanks for coming to this talk today. My name's Tanya Johnson and I'm really excited to be here. I've been in Barcelona for about half my life and I work with different kinds of people and companies and stuff. And I help out Marta once every year on this event. And yeah, I'm here to see if I can help you guys a little bit. So, shall we get started? Okay, I introduced myself earlier. You guys missed it. It wasn't exactly like that, but what am I transmitting right now? What did I just transmit to you just now? That I don't want to be here. Okay? Why? Why do you say that? What did I do or how did I speak to make you think that? So eye contact is a big one for you. My voice, And when I said I was super excited, did that? No energy. No energy. Okay. So being congruent is we need to connect with what we're saying. If I say, I'm so happy to be here today, I have to smile. And I need to emphasize the word happy. I need to be open, not closed. I need to make eye contact, not looking at the floor. Okay, so I am really happy to be here, and I do think we can do
a little bit of work before the session is over. So I'm glad you all came, and let's get started, or continue in this case. All right, did someone wanted to take a picture of the... All right, let's move on now. This is perfect to go into verbal and nonverbal before we run out of time. I can't believe 45 minutes. We're the last one, though. We don't have anybody after us. So if we go over 5 minutes, is that okay for anybody if we go over for a few minutes? Because I really want to do the practice with the elevator pitch. But my favorite part of communication is talking about verbal and nonverbal language. So on your delivery, you own it. You get to decide how open to be, what to do with your voice. And when you prepare, it makes it a lot easier. So let's take a little bit of a look at nonverbal. You've already said, to you, eye contact is a big one. So we need to look at our audiences. Open body language. It's okay, you're the audience, it's okay. What's the difference between this kind of body language and this kind of body language? I'm open. This is how we connect. Energetically, we're connected this way. When I cover up my solar plexus, or down here, or whatever, I am protecting myself. This is a protection signal globally, right? Everybody recognizes when somebody looks scared or nervous and they're protecting themselves. So keep your body language open, especially in an interview. When you're sitting at a table, put your hands on the table. Don't hide your hands. Try not to play with your fingernails. Don't play with your fingernails. Don't play with your cuticles. It's really bad. It's a big one for me. Gestures. Use gestures if you can. How many people don't know what to do with their hands when they have to do a presentation or something? Do you ever have that problem, not knowing what to do with your hands? Yeah, you know what to do with your hands? What do you do with your hands? Okay, so that's good. You're open, you're moving. It needs to be congruent with what you're talking about. So, yeah. Anyway, tell me about yourself. You don't have to be super graphic with your gestures, but it's something to keep in mind. If you're talking about something specific, maybe you can use your hands to help you. Posture. So how should we sit when we're sitting at a table with maybe a group of people or one or two interviewers? Feet on the ground. So let's put our feet on the ground just so you can see what that feels like. Sit up straight, feet on the ground. This is called grounded while seated. And it's different than crossing our legs. And what happens when we cross our legs? A lot of times our shoulders, we're not sitting straight. What happens if I'm standing up on the stage doing a presentation and I'm standing on one leg? What happens to my posture? And then it's really uncomfortable, so I'm constantly shifting my weight. And so what if somebody's constantly doing that in front of you as they're speaking? What do I transmit? It's distracting, it makes me look nervous. So we just want to we don't want people to see things that have nothing to do with what we're talking about, right? Good. So posture, seated and standing, try to be grounded. This is what I call grounded or rooted. And then we have the smile. If you were hiring somebody, wouldn't you like to hire someone who smiles? So, and especially if you want to be seen as optimistic. So just remember that. Yeah. Of course. Yeah, sure. And everybody needs optimism, I think, right now, especially now. Okay, nonverbal. What about verbal? So vocal. We have a lot of different things we can do with our voice. Be sure to speak up. In the last talk I ran into some of you in the talk over there. I couldn't understand him. He didn't speak loud enough. Could you hear him? You were in the front row. I couldn't hear. So speak up. Make sure people can hear you. I came in late, so I didn't say anything. If I had been there at the beginning, I would have been like, can you speak up? Because I can't hear you. So make sure your volume reaches your audience. In this case, maybe I'm mixing a little bit presentation things with the tell me about yourself, because why not? Emphasize key ideas. Slow down and emphasize. If you have something really important to say it with emphasis, and it'll be easier for the interviewer to remember. Try not to speak too fast, because they will not understand or be able to assimilate what you just said. And we can modulate. You can speak higher, lower, faster, slower. Play a little bit with your voice. It's all about feeling what it is you're talking about. If you're connected to what you're saying, then it's going to be fine. It's all going to flow. It's going to be congruent. And depending on if you have an interview in another language, you need to be sure to vocalize so that you're pronouncing your words properly. Okay? So this is all for your audience, but it also helps you. Finally, the pauses. Use pauses. You do not have to fill in all of the space. This is my favorite tool of all from communication. Pauses allow your audience to think. Pauses allow you to think. They allow you to breathe. And it makes whatever you say more impactful. So don't be afraid of silences. They're amazing, actually. And when we do all of this, we can stand out. We can be different. Again, it will depend on what you say. What's your story? What makes you different? How are you a good fit for this company or this job? Personality. Storytelling is a really good soft skill. So this is something you can show them in your interview, that you know how to storytell. And you can tell them things that maybe they would never know about you by reading your CV. Your experience, your training, your motivation. Grammar and writing skills. You brought that up, right? That they told you needed to prepare your CV in English. And now nobody has any excuse to make mistakes on their CVs, right? With AI, you can absolutely, and even though you had Word before that, you can make sure to have everything correct. You don't want to give anyone something with a misspelled word or anything like that, okay? So that's something that will help you stand out. Perfect writing. All right. Let's jump in. Let's go ahead and prepare our pitches. So we're going to do this formula that I gave you, which can be adapted to the different situations. You have the formal version and you have the informal version, right? By the way, walk me through your CV is a trick question. Nobody wants you to walk them through your CV. So when they ask you to walk you through your CV, walk them through your CV, you can just say, well, I think a good way for you to get to know me a little bit better is for me to tell you a little story about myself, or whatever, however you want to start. But I give you that prompt there if you want to do something like that. Okay, so let's go ahead and think of an anecdote, something that brought us to where we are today. We don't have time to write, but I'm going to give you a few minutes to take some notes. What is your current focus? What motivates you? What's your passion? What's your value proposition? What differentiates you? So basically, that's what I have there in the photocopy. And yeah, why are you here? Okay, you only have 3 minutes. So in these 3 minutes, you can tell a little anecdote and answer some of these questions. Okay, so everybody, who has the first question? Do you have a question about what we're going to do now? Okay, so let's take a few minutes to go ahead and fill in our notes or whatever we want to do. And then when we're done, we're going to stand up with our partners and we're going to do our elevator pitches. Okay, recording each other on our phones. So you have a recording at the end of this. All right? All right, go ahead. So you have 3 minutes. 3 minutes to prepare, and then we're going to do the exercise. All right? Great. Justo estaba hablando 40 minutos hasta ahora que hacemos un ejercicio. Está bien. Creo que están grabándolo todo. ¿Qué tal? ¿Qué tal? ¿Qué tal ahí? Cuando terminan, es que es muy chulo, a lo mejor quieres un flash porque puede estar muy bien. Se van a poner de pie y se van a hacer un ejercicio de 2 en 2 de pie por aquí. No sé, tú mismo, si quieres. Speak the same language, right? You can do the exercise in whatever language you want. Okay. Okay, I know it's not a lot of time, but enough to have something to say, okay, in this moment. While you're finishing up, let's take a quick look at what we're going to do now. We'll get into pairs. There are 7 of you, so I will be somebody's partner, okay? I can be your partner, for example, or whoever is left over. Okay, decide who's going to go first, and then give them your phone with your video ready to go. Okay, so the idea is not to worry about the phone. You're just gonna, the person listening is just gonna have the recording, but you're gonna be talking to them, okay? You have 3 minutes to talk about yourself. And I can tell you when there's 30 seconds left, so you can, yeah, finish up or whatever, all right? And then you're going to give the person who just spoke 2 minutes of feedback, okay? So how do we give feedback? Always start with the positive, something that we liked, and then we're going to tell them what they could maybe do to stand out more, be more engaging, whatever. You're welcome to tell them what your attributes are if you want to. It's helpful if we had more time, then they could think more about that. But anyway, they'll have their impressions. So, and then we're going to switch and repeat, and then we'll have a quick wrap up, and that'll be the end. Okay? So let's stand up, get our phones out, and you guys can be partners or whatever's easiest. Okay, be sure to have some room. You can stand somewhere else, or you can stand where you are, whatever. You can come up here if you prefer. So why don't you come around and then you can be with her? Okay, so we are going to, I'm going to put my phone on here. So at when there's 30 seconds left, okay, so the other person needs to record you. Okay, so I'm going to put my phone over here. Why don't you come over here? That way. That way it's easier for me. Okay, we're all going to start at the same time, all right? So this is called centralized timing. So does everybody have their, okay, the other thing is the person speaking can have their paper in their hand. Normally you would not have your paper in your hand, but it's okay, all right? But try to keep one of your hands free, right? If you have a pen and paper, maybe you don't need your pencil, just whatever, okay? All right, and we get a little bit of distance, and then we all start at the same time. Ready, set, go. Tell me about yourself.
Okay, perfect. So I think one story that can help you understand me is that when I was doing my PhD in biomedicine, I had one experiment that turned out really well, and it ended up going to clinical trials, and that made me really excited because I was able to see the change that I was making on someone's health. And so that story or that thing that happened made me realize that I wanted more to continue on a role on the industry rather than just continuing in academia. So this is why I'm deciding to transition to the industry, and this is why I'm here today. I believe that a lot of my skills that I learned during my PhD are very transferable to the industry. Like I'm very organized.
I'm not recording.
It's okay.
I thought I was. Okay, it's okay. We're going to do it again. We're going to do it again because you have with me. All right. I'm going to record the end of this, and then we'll do the, okay, go ahead.
So I start again.
No, just continue.
Okay, I have a lot of skills that can be very transferable to the industry. I am very organized. I'm very proactive. I have a lot of mindset that is turned into problem solving, and I believe I'm very resilient, and I think all of those skills are what makes me a very unique candidate on top of my skills in the academia for this role in medical affairs. I think that this company, specifically this role, are an amazing opportunity for me to take this next step in my career, and I believe that I could learn a lot from you, and that could also contribute to your mission of making an impact on someone's health.
All right, great. Okay. That was just 2 minutes. That's okay. Okay, that's okay. Here. All right, I'll do the whole thing. Yeah, it is. It depends on if you answer all of them. If you answer all of the questions or not, but you don't have to answer all of the questions, right? But one thing you can do. Okay, that 30 seconds. That was 2.5 minutes. She only took 2 minutes, so it doesn't have to be 3 minutes. But go ahead and start with your feedback if you're done. Okay, I'll tell you when the feedback moment is over. You have 2.5 minutes for feedback, or continue with your pitch. One thing you can do is give examples, like when you were saying that you're resilient and you're proactive and all of those things. And of course, you'll have more time in the interview. To they'll probably ask you those questions, but you can give quick examples, because if you just say, I could be recording the feedback. So as I was saying, give examples when you say I'm resilient and I'm proactive, and yeah, I'm resilient like when I actually made it through a PhD in medicine. I'm proactive in that, and give them one quick example, and then they might, something that you maybe want to go into more detail later on, and then they'll ask more about it, but you can give them the examples, and that would take up another minute. Okay? Oh, okay, so that was it. Okay. Okay, wonderful. So you have, yeah, another minute of feedback, and then we can switch. Sorry, I got confused. Yeah. No. If it's okay, is everybody? Are you ready? Are you ready to switch? Did you have time for feedback? Did you give feedback? Okay. All right. We can go ahead and switch then if you're ready. Then let's go ahead and make sure we turn on the cameras like I didn't a minute ago. So luckily we have another chance. Okay. Ready, set, go. Yeah, you can hold it. Just hold it down.
So I believe that one story that I could tell you to get to know me.
Speak up a little bit. Yeah. Okay. It's okay.
Is that when I was doing my PhD in biomedicine, one experiment actually turned out really well, and it went all the way to phase 2 clinical practice, and that made me really excited because I was able to see that my research and my results were actually possibly making an impact on someone's health.
It's amazing.
That moment made me realize that that my long-term career goals were more suited towards a role in the industry rather than in the academia, because in the industry I believe that it is a place where I could actually see the impact that I'm making. I think that a lot of my skills that I learned during my PhD are very transferable to the industry. For example, multitasking. I conducted sometimes up to 3 preclinical studies at the same time. So I had to overlook different resources, organize the timetables, also monitor the data and the results at the same time. These made me also really organized and also really results-driven. And also, I believe that getting a PhD is proof that I'm very resilient and driven.
Exactly.
And I think all of those skills are very necessary. For example, for the role in medical affairs, which is the role that I'm looking for, I believe that your company is an incredible place for me to make this transition to the industry, and also the human values that you show in your company culture. I believe are very equal with my personality. So I think that I can learn a lot from you, but I think I can also contribute to my skills and my experience that come from different angles that you might expect, but I think that they can fulfill your role correctly. And I also very quick.
No, it was fine. 30 seconds. Okay, let's have some more feedback. I'm going to just keep rolling, okay, so you have it there. Wow, that was really good. The first version was good, and this was better with the examples. Did you feel that you're not just saying words?
Truthful in a way, because I was just not like making a list of things, but giving the actual things, so maybe they believe me more in what I'm doing and what I did. Yeah, I was more convinced.
I felt that you were connected. It's a great story, and the examples really helped a lot. It seemed natural. It was evidence that you always have to give evidence when you say things. And, you know, in the first part of an elevator pitch, maybe it's not the moment to give all the evidence. But if you say, I multitask, yeah, you tell them what. That was perfect. I liked how you pulled that example out. Really nice. And also, I feel your passion.
That's good.
And
I hopefully should translate.
that was over 3 minutes. So if you're not done yet, finish up and feedback.
Yeah, no, thank you so much because I did the previous, I did an interview.
Ah, okay.
That was my first interview ever. So it was
Today.
no,
Ah.
a few weeks ago. It was a bit like I don't know what I'm doing, but now I think that I'm doing really confident, just preparing this thing.
It makes a big difference to practice and rehearse. Wonderful. Okay, thank you. All right. Okay, well, we're a little bit over time, but in a minute, I'm going to let them finish giving their feedback, and then we can have a little wrap up, and that's it.
Nice.
What's your name again?
Maria.
Maria.
Yeah.
Maybe I didn't ask you. You came in. I asked the first people's names, and then little bit later, and then estamos acabando. Necesitamos 5 minutos. Pasa. Vale. Bueno, se coge un número. Vale, pues sí, ¿se puede esperar 5 minutos? Muy bien. Okay, everybody, go ahead and take a seat when you're ready. First, I would like to, sorry. They're still giving their feedback.
Have one bottle from there, or
I don't know. I suppose. Go ahead. I don't care. I mean, it isn't my water, but anyway. ¿Quiere agua? ¿Puede coger agua? He said it's okay. Okay. Wonderful. Just quickly, what did you learn about yourself just now? Did you experience anything that surprised you about yourself or with the other person? Yeah?
In almost times it was quite easy when you swim couple. There was a bad part because I said, like, we did change because we feel comfortable between us. But like,
Yeah, you could have gotten a different partner.
but outside because I was preparing because I thought we will make him not professional because with professional working. But
Right, sure.
Speech for networking.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, yeah.
Like, you know, they explain a lot about your experience. I was thinking more like funny stories that happened, unusual things that people remember you. That it was like I needed to adapt it quickly for our speech. I was like, oh, this is quite improvising in 30 seconds, you know.
Okay. Did you learn anything about her? Okay, thank you. Good. And did you learn anything about yourself? Sorry? Okay, well, we normally aren't. And that's the thing about this question, even though it's the most common question, oh, hi, oh, nice to meet you. So who are you? It doesn't matter where we are. And I find myself even, if I don't have it structured and I haven't practiced, then it comes out a little bit, yeah.
Like for me, and it's the same like doing that, like that it has very much for me and I need to prepare it plan, you know. Well, I'm very surprising for if it has some structure I need to prepare. But if it's like it's natural thing to say, okay, who's prepared? I'm like, okay, I'm not prepared when it's conversation, you know. But like without preparation, it was like very surprising. We have confidence, but like we never work like in position in work.
Okay,
Good.
good.
That was quite a good presentation. Then in my mind, because like I work with communication and like for me some part it's easier, it's IT and it was then good the same way, and I was surprised.
Okay, all right.
You did very good. Like possibly you always can make it better, but like yeah, it was quite surprising.
Wonderful. So a little practice makes perfect, that's for sure. Who else did you learn something about yourself? Anything?
Yeah, like the feedback part was really good because sometimes you don't realize you're doing not well seen. So, like you said before, the moving part. So I do it, but
You don't unconsciously, right?
So my partner, she told me that part as a constructive feedback,
Wonderful.
and I appreciate that a lot because it's something that I'm working on for.
Good. And you'll see in your video, and then you can record yourself more now after you've done this exercise. What about you guys?
Yeah, I would say the same. It's like escuché notas, but también. So I escuché the meditation and I'm preparing it myself, and having feedback, especially like because we are friends, and I didn't expect you to be so.
Okay, so constructive feedback is really powerful, and positive feedback is really powerful. Yes?
Closing it. That was the difficult one. Closing, like having a good stinger.
Right, and it's hard when it's part of an hour-long interview and you have this is the first question, but still, again, it could be. And it's the same whenever we prepare presentations. How we start and how we finish. If we don't think about them, we at the end. So think about how you want to finish. You know, what is it? What is it? Is it your future? What you'd like to happen? Is it something about yourself? It's up to you, but just decide what that is. Yeah, yeah.
While planning experience, and we tried, they have like classes, virtual classes, and I did it in Barcelona, not here.
Ah, uh-huh.
Slow one. It's like 25 minutes work experience, virtual interview, and one was in Spanish, so it's British easier. We will be quite good in Spanish because I had the opportunity to make it in English, and it was the my question. I was doing the question to them. Okay, it's nice to make question, and then you go for interview, and they never finished, and it was like 20 questions. Big long. I was like, how do I do that? I was like frustrated.
Thank you for that, because I have an answer for you. The Q&A, when you've finished your presentation or whatever, you have your main idea, your closing, whatever, you go to Q&A, and when Q&A is over, well, you have to control it and finish it when you, and then you close again. That's the key. Whatever you said before, you repeat it. So remember, the most important thing is that we find a way to stand out. We prepare, we're self-aware, and I'm sort of semi-closing now, just to give you an example. This is what we need to do to make that impact and get that job. And so you can do that before the Q&A and then after the Q&A. Okay? Okay, we've gone 15 minutes over, but I do need one word takeaway. What are you going to do differently after having had this session today? Maria. Maria and I talked about examples when we are offering attributes that we may have. So, yeah, just as something I wanted to throw in there. What are you taking away from the session today? Okay. Wonderful. Yeah, it's so powerful. Thank you. Good. What about you? What are you taking away? Okay, you can think about it. What are you taking away? Something to close with. Good. Okay, practicing until you. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like possibly I'm not like natural, but I think I don't have any control of my body. I was like, it was okay. You said, oh, it's okay, but like I mean.
Well, you have to be the judge, right? Right.
And I felt like, is my mind? I didn't control anything. That it's sometimes it's work naturally, but sometimes not. I would like to like just
It'll come. It'll come with the practice. What about you? What are you taking away?
To think about what I want to sell.
Okay.
Like the three attributes
Okay.
we're talking at first. And to focus my speech on those three words that I want them to get stuck
To
in.
remember. All right. Good. And give examples about those. Yeah. What about you? Okay. How to finish. Yeah. That's a big one. Okay. Thank you so much. Please, you have my info here if you need anything. We can connect on LinkedIn and be inspiring, be enthusiastic, be optimistic, be passionate, and you will engage your audiences with your communication. Okay? Thank you very much. And good luck with everything.